Hello and welcome to the March edition of the LBG Gazette. I am sitting here today with Ian Brinkley of the Brinkley Insurance Group, and I'm very excited to be talking to him about your insurance policies and his company and how he might be able to help you with your auto and home insurance. I met Ian when I started in real estate almost 8 years ago, and he reevaluated my plans and saved me a ton of money. Then, unfortunately, left that company and did such a great job setting me up with such a great package that I haven't been able to go with Ian's insurance group. But I'm waiting for the day when he finally lets me know that it's in my best interest to come to his company rather than in his best interest. So I trust Ian implicitly. Many of you have met him because I always refer him to my clients when they're buying houses. But I wanted to introduce him to you guys today and ask a couple of questions that might be on your minds. So number one, Ian, first of all, thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
A lot of home values have been going up and up and up and up, and I worry that my clients got their homeowners insurance at the time they bought their house a few years ago, and maybe they are underinsured right now, and I am wondering if now is a good time. Should they be reevaluating their homeowners insurance?
Well, the answer is yes, but maybe not for necessarily the reason you would think. So it's a good idea to take a look at your homeowner's insurance and really the coverage about every 3 to 4 years, if not every year. Now at my agency, we try to keep an eye on it every year to make sure that premiums and coverage stay in line with one another. But recently, home values, especially in this market, have increased, home values have increased in this market. Sales prices that keep going up and up and up. We actually take a look at what it's going to cost to rebuild the house, not necessarily what you bought or sold it for. We try to factor out the land value or the location that you purchased in, because if you buy a house in a more desirable location, you're going to probably buy a smaller house for the cost versus a house in a less desirable location. You might get a lot more house, a larger square foot house for a lower value or a lower purchase price. So we look at rebuild costs. Now, what has impacted repo costs is the supply chain stuff that you've heard so much about. Earlier it was lumber, now it is microchips and finding, if you have a kitchen fire, we got to replace your appliances, and that can take months because of the backups all the way through, and then labor shortages and all kinds of stuff. So it costs more today to rebuild a house than it did last year at this time. And that's a big reason why you should be looking at your policy, at least paying attention to it to make sure that you have proper coverage along the way there.
That makes such total sense to me, because if you have a house fire, if you have a major flood in your house, not from nature, but your washing machine floods your house, or you have
water. We call that water damage.
It's bad.
Water damage.
It's bad, but it's
Either
not
way.
going to impact the lot. It's not going to impact the location. That makes complete sense to me.
Right.
So, and building a house in one area of town is going to cost the same as another area of town.
For the
that
most
makes
part,
sense to me too.
Exactly.
So I totally get that. So definitely, it sounds like now's a good time to evaluate your insurance policy. And if you're evaluating with one company that you are working with now, why not shop around? People forget. I mean, shoot, they shop for gas, they shop for milk prices. Why would you not shop for your insurance costs as well? So, all right, so my other thought was, why Ian Brinkley or Brinkley Insurance Group versus calling up one of these companies that you're working directly with the insurer?
Right. So my company, we're a broker, which means we represent a lot of different carriers. So backing up what you just said there, we actually do a lot of the shopping for the client. And we work with several companies. We don't work for any company directly, we work with them. So if your premium changes, even with one of the companies that I have, we can remarket your policies to see if there's a better option out there for you.
That's what he did for me.
Yeah, and we basically just shop around to make sure that you are getting the best value for your particular risk level. So you're getting the best price policy for the level of coverage that you need. And that's what, we just keep an eye on our customers.
That's so awesome. Ian has done an amazing job of making sure that I have been in the right policies, even when it meant that I didn't get to work with him, because he is, he's there for you, he's there for me. He wants to make sure everybody's getting the coverage they need, but also at the most fair prices.
Right. Yeah, we took a look at your policy, and you were actually still in the best position. So we're not going to move somebody that it doesn't make sense to move them. So
And
my
I
advice was
hate
stay right where it
shopping
was.
for stuff like insurance.
Yeah.
I don't want to shop for cars, I don't want to shop for insurance. So when I am working with somebody that I trust who is looking at all the different options, then I know I can set it and forget it, which is great. Ian, thank you so much for being here and answering my questions today. I will be back in April, but I wanted to remind everybody that we are having a big Durham Bulls event on May 1st. You have probably seen information on Facebook or through emails, and Ian has graciously agreed to help sponsor that. So he's helping us to make that the best event that it could be. Thank you very much.
Yeah, happy to do it.
And so take a look at the rest of our newsletter. Ian's contact information is in the spotlight, and there's some great information about the Bulls. So see you next month. Bye.